Thousands of years ago, archaeologists say that Native Americans used natural rock shelters in Kentucky for temporary living areas and protection from harsh weather. The U.S. Forest Service has identified archaeological sites at 6,700 rock shelters in the Daniel Boone National Forest.
So, Sam, we're going to be heading up this little ridge up to the rock shelter.
EKU professor John Inanino says the rock shelters are mostly dry and cooler, ideal for protecting ancient artifacts. The shelters are also targets for people who illegally dig up and steal artifacts. The U.S. Forest Service has asked us to not disclose the exact location of this shelter.
What you see before you is the result of illegal excavation in a prehistoric archaeological site.
Indanino says these foot-high mounds of dirt are evidence looters have been here.
And in the search for stone tools, spear points, arrowheads, they have dug out almost the entire back of the shelter, destroying everything that was there in the process.
So it's heartbreaking.
Megan Creech and Melissa Ramsey are archaeologists for the U.S. Forest Service. They say that most of the 6,700 sites have been disturbed.
When they want to destroy a site like this, they're ruining it for, generations to come because you can't get it back.
It's against the law, a felony, if you're convicted to collect and take artifacts from federal or state-owned property. Creech and Ramsey say it's just not feasible to put a security camera at every rock shelter, but they say they try to monitor each place and do put up trail cameras where looters persist. Professor Indanino says what's lost is all the less obvious material that archaeologists studied about life in Kentucky 9,000 years ago.
So we bring back literally bags of dirt to the lab, and then they go to specialists who remove and study the animal bones, the plant remains.
But they're loaded with information.
Whether it's ignorance about the law or the attempt to profit by selling artifacts, the cost to Native American and Kentucky history is incalculable.
Removing it so that other people can't see it and can't enjoy it is upsetting.
Off the beaten path in the Daniel Boone National Forest, I'm Sam Dick reporting for WKYT.